Okay, you guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jenith Blacker,
And I'm Leonka Reina.
and this is the Haute Hustle Mystic Morning Show. Today, we are talking about beliefs and lies, and we are going to talk a little bit about the quantum science behind some of this, too.
Right.
Yes, this should be a dynamic conversation, but first, we will start with a little
Mystic Space Weather News. Wow, you guys. It's been a minute since I've done a report about Mystic Space Weather News. The very big pressing news is that the sun has not a coronal hole. There is an actual gap. It's like a million miles long. It is all the way across the poles. It looks like the entire I will show you a graphic, but it looks like the entire whole part of the sun has just opened up with this massive coronal hole, and it is Earth facing. So you know that when we have coronal holes, there's a jet stream that's definitely blasting the Earth with lots of, charged particles that hit the Earth, and it changes the magnetosphere. It raises the amount of radiation that we have, and of course, it does change everything from biology to our DNA. And so, know that that is going on, and it's definitely unprecedented at this time. And you can take a look at some of the different YouTube pages that are talking about it to find out a little bit more information and more insights. But I definitely wanted to give you some heads up about that. And also, today is the Chinese New Year.
Yes.
So excited. Yes. So I'm really excited about the Chinese New Year. And the Chinese New Year is really interesting because it's actually a window. So it started about people start celebrating yesterday, and today's the official day. And then it goes till about the 23rd. And this is the year of the horse. So we've exited the year of the snake. We're entering the year of the horse. And the horse is really interesting because it's the year of manifestation and forward motion movement. There is also a little bit of ritual that you can do. And I found it was very interesting. It says that you can take a pair of your shoes, old shoes, you put them in a red bag, and then you put them outside. You can look up, and I will also link that information on our Instagram live page.
Exciting.
Yeah. And so it really just signifies, walking in new shoes, walking into a new path, and really releasing some of that old and of course, red means good luck and good fortune. Yeah. So that is all really fun to celebrate. And also, this is a really unique time because we also have this conjunction, and it's really, she said she was going to scroll from you nicely, yes. But it is really the area where so right now we're in an eclipse, and in contemporary astrology, it serves as a catalyst for accelerated change, and it uncovers concealed truths. We're seeing that right now everywhere throughout the news. I don't even want to say the files and the names and all the wild stuff, but it also encourages personal positive energy and a collective evolution, which we're also seeing right now. And this is all culminates around the Saturn-Neptune conjunction at the world point of zero, Aries. And the last time this happened was about 6,000 years ago. So this is all just a whole new movement for forward and momentum, and really a great time for us to set those intentions and know that they are absolutely capable and will come true for you if you put your energy and frequency behind those intentions. And that's what I got for today's Mystic Space Weather News.
I love that so much. I think that the Chinese New Year is really a time where the whole frequency of the planet changes too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely got to be some, science,
energetic behind it.
Absolutely.
Astrology.
Right. Stuff that I probably couldn't even tap into, but of course the ancients knew about it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And science just substantiated. Yep.
Well, I've got a few things to talk about today. Real quick, how many of you are suffering from never eating vegetables, and maybe it's causing some disruption in your system? Well, there's kind of one or two greens that are truly miracle superfoods. And I learned about this years ago when I was studying nutrition. And then now that I'm doing this detox, I'm rediscovering all the things that I used to really love that's easy to intake. So with that same brand, Vermiji, which I love because I trust their quality, I started to take some barley grass.
Okay.
And I just felt really alive and vibrant. But here's what it does. If anybody has blood sugar issues, it helps.
I do.
It helps those roller coaster rides. And that's what I've noticed the most from this. And studies actually indicate that it's doing that as well. It helps regulate cholesterol, reduce inflammation, it's good for your skin. And I just think that it's the coolest thing in the world that we can take supplements that, and these are capsules, but they open easily. So I put them in my shakes and things like that.
Smart.
So I link this up and I'll recommend it on our morning brew with Woo. But I've got something even better. How many of you are all watching the Olympics? And how many of you are obsessed with the quad god?
The quad god.
Ilya Malinin. He has just posted on his Instagram this really cryptic post that gives you a little wink inside what's really going on in the mental state of an athlete like that.
So tell us a little bit about the quad god for those who may not be watching. Yeah.
My gosh. So this guy, he was just expected to win the gold.
Okay.
And then something happened that took him totally off
sequence. He's the one that can do the backflip on the ice, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Which nobody else can really land.
And he does like 4, they call him quad god, not because it's his quadriceps, but they call him a quad god because he can
do
spin
4 times.
Spin 4 times in the air and get this height.
Got it.
And so he does at least 4 spins.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he's known for.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everyone was just expecting this guy to just take the gold and everything and really be awed in the free skate. And he messed up in the long.
He got 8th place, right? Yeah. I kept news.
He had 2 little bumps.
He fell.
Yeah, he fell.
Yeah.
He cried after, vulnerably cried. And yet the guy that did so well in performance after him, he went up and congratulated. He's actually really emotionally mature.
Yeah.
But it looks like on the 21st of the month, he is going to put out a documentary series on what it really takes to train like an athlete. And really, it sounds like the mindset and the heartbreak and the frustration and the grief. And that feeling when you just really have like, damn, I wanted this.
Yes.
And you have a chance every 4 years to maybe have it. I think he's really going to go in depth to what that is. So if that's something you're looking at, do look for, how to really find them. And I will link up some other things I found in our Instagram caption. If you want to comment version, as a new version of him, I'm going to link up a bunch of little clips from him so that you can get them in your DMs.
I love that. I loved his message of positivity afterwards. Like I knew he was upset, but he also said, I'm going to come back and I'm going to.
No, he knows he will.
Yeah, right?
It was like he was just off in that moment. Yeah. Like I had practices.
That takes a lot of courage and mental.
1-year-old.
I know, right?
Right?
Yeah. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's really cool. So it's a mental game. And we always talk about that on the show. Some people are like, oh, that's so woo-woo. Well, we are the queen of woo. But it really goes to show you how the winners win because they keep their mental state.
Yeah.
You ride that roller coaster, but you really come back to knowing who you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, even in those times and across the nation. So
I love it. I mean, I really think that it's important for us to see these athletes too. I think sometimes we just are like, they're a performer and we just kind of like check them off the box. Yeah. But, I don't know. It's like helps us if we get motivated by somebody else's insane motivation.
Yeah. Right. And seeing their ups and downs. I felt that way with Simone Biles whenever she said that she had the Twinkies, right? And then she came back and she, blew us out of the water, right? Like
there's a skier now that has a knee injury and didn't even expect to perform and got the gold.
Oh, that's wonderful. Man.
And she said in an interview that she would give back both golds to not have the pain that she has.
Sweet love.
But it's kind of awesome that you think, gosh, you can really have an injury and still be the top of your game in the world,
In the
better than
world.
everyone.
Right.
Love it so
Right.
much. It's
A
so
lot of middle
exciting.
game
It's
there.
really, really fun to watch. All right, you guys, let's bring you all in and let's welcome Lisa.
Yes.
Lisa, welcome to the show. I love your book and I love this topic so much because not many people talk about beliefs in this way.
And just a couple words about Lisa before we get started. Lisa is a quantum mindset coach with over 20 years of experience as a transformational leader, author of the international best-selling book, In Every Belief is a Lie. She's an expert in the fields of human behavior and in the unconscious mind and the quantum healing. And she's an award-winning speaker and has presented at prestigious institutions such as Harvard, Columbia University, and also featured in Dr. Joe Vitale's movie Zero Limits, available on Amazon and Apple TV right now. So welcome, Lisa. And thank you for joining us. Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you could be a little louder, it'd be great.
Yeah.
And I might be able to turn you up
Is
here.
this better? Is this
Yes.
better?
How is she sounding, everyone? Pretty good?
Is that okay?
Yeah, you're a little low on her end, but it'll be okay.
I have a mic here that I'm just adjusting. I'm getting used to it because I had to buy it.
Yeah, I think that's good right there.
That's
Yeah.
good? Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like your mic's picking up. It sounds like it's coming from your computer, but let's just keep rolling.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll keep going. I'm not quite sure what's going on here.
Yeah, you got a little bit of feedback, but that's okay.
All right. Anyway, yeah, thank you so much for having me here. I really appreciate it.
Let's start a little bit with your background. How did you get into really understanding that beliefs are a lie?
Well, I started out because I was actually suicidal 25 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't want to be here. I was really struggling with just everything in my life. From the time that I was a child, little girl, I had learning disabilities. And those learning disabilities, when you don't, if you're in kindergarten and you can't read and write and do your math, then it just snowballs. So
especially in the 80s.
Yeah. And so I grew up thinking that I wasn't smart, that I was stupid, that I'd never amount to anything. And that really continued. It completely continued in my life as a theme. And so for me, there was some abuse that happened to me as well as a child, and I had a nervous breakdown in my late 30s, and I was going from therapist to therapist to therapist, and no one was able to help me. And so what happened was I was going 2 to 3 times a week, and finally someone suggested a hypnotist. And when I went to see the hypnotist, she changed my life because I was suddenly in a place where I was going to unconscious beliefs. Because when we're talking like this, we're in a brain frequency of beta. And beta is where all of our belief systems are at a conscious level. But we have so much that we have forgotten, we have suppressed, or inherited. Because I also do inherited ancestral trauma as well. So once I started to do this work, everything changed for me. And then I thought, okay, I want to continue and help others, which led me down this amazing path of working with people and helping others who had been through what I had.
Well, we're both hypnotherapists ourselves, so we truly understand the value of hypnotherapy. For me, that was also the game changer. That was the gateway that was like, oh, I actually am different because of this hypnotherapy, either a session or series of sessions. So I think that's fabulous. Let's talk a little bit about the biology of the quantum. I know that you did a little study with the biology. Take us through that. That's not usually a topic that we hear about.
Well, what happened was I had some people in my life who were sick. They weren't doing well. And I'd been doing all kinds of healings for many years. I'd been doing Reiki, and I studied energy medicine. It was based on Barbara Brennan's work.
Okay.
Goodness, I don't know what's going on with my
Don't worry about it.
microphone. It's just crackling and making noise. I don't know if you can
We
hear
can't
it.
hear it.
Okay.
No. Mm-mm.
It sounded like it was gonna blow up.
It's okay.
Anyway, where was I? Oh, so I started working with people just in person doing this work.
Mhm.
And then I thought, I'm going to try and see if this works long distance. And then I thought, how can I prove to people that this actually works? So I talked to a friend of mine who was a functional medicine specialist, and she recommended that I try dark field microscopy. But the interesting thing is, it's not available in every state. And what you do is you take live blood and you look at it on a screen, and it's you can see the red blood cells swimming around live, and you can see a lot from it. Now, I'm not trained in that, so I used other trained technicians to do this. So I had a friend who had a lot of pain in her shoulders and had some other issues going on health wise. And she said, I know someone who does dark field microscopy. Well, I'm in Vermont. She's in Tampa, Florida.
That's a little ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she went and had her blood checked. And then after that, we did the healing. She went back and had her blood checked 10 days later, and it was like night and day. So then she told me about a fellow that she was a friend of hers who who had symptoms of MS, had collapsed on the floor in his kitchen, and he couldn't move for 11 hours. And
Wow.
she was like, would you be willing to work with him? I said, fine. So what ended up happening was he came in, we did checked his blood, he went home. And when I do these healings, I actually get these visuals sometimes of water flowing through people, cleansing them. I'm seeing this in my third eye. So I'm seeing this flowing, and I noticed that his energy was stuck around his abdomen. And I was pushing and pushing and trying to move this energetically. It wasn't moving. Now, to give you some background, all of a sudden this being shows up next to me.
Wow.
And I realized it was Jesus. Now, I'm not a Christian. I was raised Jewish. Okay.
Mhm.
So I turn and I
Wow.
look and I'm like, oh. So the two of us,
What?
pushing the water, and then it moved, it shifted, and you could see the blockages go, and I could see the water running through him. Well, I didn't say anything to my client. I'm like, because that could
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I went to meet up with my client online, because he was also down in Florida, he said to me, I had the strangest situation happen. 2 days after the healing, I woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning and I couldn't stop vomiting clear liquid. I have no idea where it came from. I've never drank that much water in my life. And this water was just coming out of me. I didn't have anything before I went to bed.
Wow, this is the best one I've heard yet.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you saw this Jesus,
How did you know it
how
was
did
Jesus?
you know? I mean, was it an apparition? Was it just,
Yeah.
an awareness?
I saw it in my meditation. So I go into a trance.
Yeah.
And he didn't
You
say,
just-
hi, I'm Jesus. I
Right.
just had a knowing.
You just
You
know.
know.
It's like in a
Yeah.
dream, you just
Yeah.
know who the people are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he comes
Cool.
in and other guides will come in during the healings.
Mhm.
So I do those now individually, and then I partner with a woman. Her name is Honey C. Golden, who's an amazing healer, and we do them once a month doing this work with people. So we get a lot of people on those calls, and that's a monthly.
Uh-huh. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to have to get a little more specific and take us back.
We like
because we-
specifics. Yes.
Because we're both, on the edge of healers as well. So where were you before this all happened? Like what
What were
was
you?
like what kind of practices were you doing? Were
Yeah.
you doing regular hypnosis? Had that been going on for a long time? Like were you just becoming naturally clear? Were there other signs around it? Like just give it all to us.
Right. It had been evolving, right? So it
Mm-hmm.
started out, I remember I got trained in Reiki. I was a hypnotist. I studied mediumship. I mean, that was the whole course. And so over the course of 25 years, studied
Okay.
shamanism. I went to school in northern Italy where it was like a Hogwarts school.
Oh,
And I
wow.
studied, it was really
Okay.
magic.
So this has all been a
I just went to
practice.
business marketing.
Yeah.
This
So
has all been a practice for
been a
years.
practice for
Okay,
years.
fabulous.
Yeah.
And then
But
I got divorced about 10 years ago. My life completely changed.
Yeah.
I had been married almost 30 years. My 2
Mhm.
children were raised, and suddenly the rug got pulled out from under me.
Wow.
And so I had to start my life all over again. So I
Wow.
went to move to another state and didn't know a soul and just started my life completely fresh. And
Do you think that was a catalyst for this? Yes.
yeah,
I do. What is the, so many times people will say those types of things happen also where you're in the energy of your spouse, and for what you need for the next part of your soul or elevation is not to be in the energy of your spouse anymore.
Yeah.
What has transpired as far as that maybe
well,
lesson
I
or
still had
understanding?
this underlying belief that I could never amount to anything or really support myself, right?
Yeah.
And I remember at the end of my marriage, there was a shaman I studied with, and she had just become certified to teach people to teach firewalking. And so it was firewalking, walking on broken glass. It was bending rebar from my throat, breaking
Yeah.
arrows, all of that.
Wow.
So I remember she asked if I wanted to train in this. And I thought, you know what? I'm so low. I'm so depressed. I can't be in this marriage anymore. I don't know what I want to do with my life, but something's got to change.
Yeah.
So I spent a week literally every night walking 7 to 10 feet of fire, um, breaking arrows, walking on 4 feet of broken wine bottles. And the whole time, all I could think about was they told us to graduate, we had to walk 40 feet of red hot coals. So I went into this spiral, this depth spiral of like, I'm going to die. My feet are going to be amputated. How am I ever going to do this? And so I never thought about the winds all week, like breaking an arrow from here, like with a point sign in your throat, right?
Right.
Or bending this piece of 10-foot rebar where
Yeah.
2 people are holding it at their throats and walk towards each other and bend it. I still have the rebar. The story's in my book. Walking on all of that. And then I never like was present. All I did was cry and whine about that, event on Saturday.
Right.
So I was a basket case, and one of the people in my group looked at me and asked me, how much fire have you walked this week? And I said, well, 7 to 10 feet every night. And he said, you did really well, didn't you? I said, yeah. You didn't burn your feet. And I said, you're correct. And he said, well, how much fire? Have you walked over 40 feet this week already? I said, yes. He said, so you've already done it. This should be a piece of cake. Go. And something in my brain just switched. And I walked it, and not a scorch, nothing. It was amazing.
Oh my
Then
gosh.
I drove home. I had heat on my feet, but there was no burn. So I had flip-flops and I had the air conditioner on my feet, but it was just like this high that I was on.
Yeah.
And I got home and my ex-husband looked at me and I said to him, you wouldn't believe what I just did. And I told him all about my week. And he said, that's nice. We have a dinner we're late for. Get in the car. Let's go. And
You're
that
like,
was the moment I
yeah.
knew I was done.
Yeah.
He, He couldn't handle the stuff that I was doing. It was too much for him. You know, this woo-woo stuff was just so far out. He was in finance, and I understood that. But I knew that I wanted to share that with someone in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, whatever that looked like. So I went on to really, really go deep. Like, what are those belief systems? And if you look at the word belief,
Can you,
lies in the middle
before
of
you
it.
go on, can you tell us how long of that gap that was? That between when you came back and your husband was just
Yes.
like, let's go, honey.
The next day,
Okay.
we talked about separating.
Okay.
And then I said, let's get through the holidays because we were in the fall. And I said, I want to do Thanksgiving, Christmas as a family.
Yeah.
And then let's, you know, figure out after that. And then he asked for the divorce on New Year's Day,
Mhm. And and what year was that?
2016.
Okay. So we're talking 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you were on, you know, a movie talking
Yeah.
about the woo. Like that, like I keep thinking of that, you know, in my mind, I'm like, and she just finished a documentary about the woo. Like, wow,
This
what
is
10 years
fascinating.
did for
Right.
you.
Yeah.
But to go back to where you were, gosh, I wanted to pick right back where you were in that story. When you, so go ahead, sorry.
No. So what happened was I just was like, okay, how am I going to support myself completely? What am I going to do? I mean, I always had my healing business, but I was also a full-time mom. And I was like, now I have to step up my game. And this was the interesting part was as much as COVID was difficult for people, it also transformed the industry because now I was living in Vermont with 600,000 people. Trying to build the hypnosis business was impossible. I had locations all over the state. People were driving 2 and 3 hours to see me. It was really hard. And then once I got on Zoom and helped people understand that hypnosis is just as powerful online as it is in person, as long as your computer's plugged in and the battery doesn't run out in the middle, which I've had that happen. Someone's fire alarm doesn't go off in the middle of it, or someone walk in. It really does work.
Yes, it does. It really does. One of the things that you were going to explain was when you look at the word belief, and you were going to talk a little bit about that. Take us into what you've learned about that, about the lie.
Yeah, about all the lies we tell
If
ourselves.
you think about what are you taught from the time you're born, your parents are imparting their values on you.
Yeah.
So we become programmed with them. It doesn't mean that they're right, they're wrong, or whatever, but your values become you. How do you end up with your religion? How do you really end up with your belief around money? Because if you grew up in a household of scarcity, guess what happens? Then you take that on and it may be unconscious, but you start sabotaging yourself. Or, you know, I did a show where I asked people, or it was a course nice on money. And I said, how many of you here want to make $1 million a year? And everyone raises their hand. And then I show them a picture of a mansion. Tell me about the people who live in that mansion. Oh, they hate each other. They're getting a divorce.
Isn't that crazy?
Really?
Miserable. Their kids hate them. Their kids are on drugs. They can't afford to heat the house.
Yeah.
And I said, if all of you believe that money is bad and evil, then how are you ever going to attract that? So what I discovered is that we need to be neutral, non-attachment, right? And a lot of gurus talk about that, but no one really tells you how, right? So I'd be like, if it were that easy, I would do it. And what I discovered was a technique, and there's many of them, the emotional release method. So I started to go through what my beliefs were, and I started releasing them. So you think about, you know, money issues or, you know, whatever they are that we get programmed by, but there's also good things like ageless. Well, you see people are obsessed with looking young and their faces look like this. You know, you can be attached to things that are what we deem good and bad, We want to detach
From,
and get the emotion out and be
yeah,
neutral. So
yeah.
I started doing that. And then I started getting into forgiveness. That's where Joe Vitale came in and the Ho'oponopono. For
Yeah.
those of you who don't know what that is, it's an ancient Hawaiian prayer. It's a forgiveness prayer. And it's, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. I started doing that prayer and I got invited to be part of a Ho'oponopono group, and we met weekly, and everyone would report the miracles that happened in their lives and every week just from doing the forgiveness work. And one day I had a family member who I hadn't spoken to in 14 years. And I was driving and I'd been doing this regularly. 3 months after I started doing this work, someone literally, this person contacted me. I miss you. I noticed things have changed between us. The shift in the energy, because nothing else had changed. I want you back in my life. How can we make this happen?
Oh, yeah.
So even though this person isn't my favorite person, I needed to have peace. And when that happened, the book poured out of me. I literally, like,
Oh,
it was
wow.
channeled.
Yes.
The title came, the book came, and then all of a sudden I got an email from someone who was connected to Joe Vitale who wanted me to be in this movie. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a scam. And so I got on a call with them and I put them through the ringer. And it ended up, they were real, and I ended up in this movie. But what happens is they talk about zero limits. It's a belief that anything can happen, that we can create our own reality. My life just started to, like, one thing after another, magic and miracles. I got invited to Prague to a red carpet premiere for the movie. And then I got asked to go to the movie, something in Marbella, Spain for the movie. It was a festival. And I went to that, and in between, it was just a whole course of miracles that started happening. Met someone in Ireland who was from Prague, who ended up giving me a tour of the city. It was a crazy, crazy experience. So I started living my life around how miracles can happen.
Yeah.
And last year, I got invited out of the blue to go to Puerto Vallarta for a week. Another friend of mine who travels around the world, does house sitting, contacted me and she said, if I can find some house sits, will you stay? I said, yes, because I can work from anywhere.
Yeah.
I ended up in Mexico for 3 months last year.
Oh my gosh, how
And it
fun.
only cost me for 4 nights that I stayed someplace. And that was it. Everything else was house sits that kept happening.
How fun.
So I'm back in Mexico now with the same friend. And
I
I'm
love
doing
Puerto
it again.
Vallarta. Yes. Wow. What a beautiful life of just choosing and following the energy, something that we always talk about here on the show. And you also brought up something that I thought was super important to point out was the before you got to the forgiveness part, there was this clearing. We consider them clearing, but like, you know, the removal or the blasting past those beliefs one by one. You said you know, how did you excavate that? How did you know, was it a journaling exercise or we use a lot of
Where the
questioning.
tools? Yeah. Did you have
Yeah.
tools that you were using?
I met an 88-year-old man who was a hypnotist who
Wow.
had his doctorate from Harvard.
Cool.
I
And
love
he
that.
taught me this emotional release, and he cursed like a sailor.
Oh, I love that too.
I loved him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he took me under his wing and he started teaching me this technique. And it's, should I let it go? Yes. Could I let it go? Yes. When now?
Cool.
I like that.
He gave me this paper with columns of emotions. And he said, sometimes we carry emotions, we don't even know where they come from. And it doesn't matter where it came from, you just clear the emotion. So it doesn't mean that we're never going to feel that emotion again, What we're focused on is more of, how do I explain it? We're clearing the root cause of the pain. So we're
Yep.
not triggered.
Yep. The thing
Right?
that thing that is in us that has that thing that triggers you stick to. So usually it's something within us. It could be an unhealed, wound from your parents, and you don't even know when it happened at 2 years old or something, right? And someone comes around and they say something that triggers that, and it sticks to you. So it causes that emotion to flare up, if you will.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's a root cause. Yeah. Wow. Interesting.
So he told me the story of how, because he was 88, his daughter was a doctor in her 60s in Boston, and she had collapsed at the T, they call it, at the subway station, and she hit her head. And
Wow.
so she was in the hospital and she was hemorrhaging, and he was up worrying about her, of course.
Of course.
And then
Yes.
the next day he said to himself, how does it benefit her by me worrying about her? How does it benefit me? And he said, I didn't. So he said, if I clear my panic, emotion, fear, then I can be fully present and centered. I can talk to the doctors. I can hear both sides and make a conscious, cognizant decision that's not emotion based. And I thought that was beautiful.
Of course. Right. And even it's even a contribution, his energy being the presence, because when you're in panic and you're like, oh my God, something's wrong with you, that emotional, like we try to have empathy. So we try to match our energy with somebody else's that's suffering, and that only brings them more suffering. So having that more neutrality, I can see how that is much more of a contribution energetically for her or for anyone. That's
well, how many of you guys have had just a moment where technology doesn't work and you're frustrated and you feel it inside your body, right?
Right. And then you're like,
and then your arms go all up, and then later at night you've got to use a massager, Bob and Brad, to like get all the kinks out because you've been like frustrated because of something. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, what if I could just choose to change that internal frustration and walk through it moment by moment in the present moment and go, Mike, what is wrong with you?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I've done is I go into the space of everything is in divine order.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I was just listening to something about that today.
Yeah.
So there you go.
It's so
everything's in divine order. So that gives you so much freedom.
Yeah. And the universe is just trying to hand you the things that you desire, where that you're truly being the energetic match for.
Exactly.
Well, can we do a practice with somebody that's going through something or notices something on a regular basis so they can experience your work?
Absolutely.
Yeah, B.
Yeah, I think it's always really beneficial when you can showcase your work here. Usually one of us has to volunteer and then everybody starts.
How would you start? Yeah. How would a question be asked, or what would you?
If someone's dealing with something that is really bothering them right now, they're really triggered. It could be about politics that's going on right now, or they're feeling really sad about the Olympian that you were talking about, and they're feeling really attached to that.
Yeah.
It's better not to do a 10, like from 0 to 10 right now, but we can.
I might have something that we can do as almost like a collective for people.
Sure.
So I was on the phone with one of our speakers yesterday, and I was just talking about my ambitions and what I was asking for next. And she was kind of in this place where, yeah, I want a bigger audience too, but I sort of don't go there because it causes me suffering. So it's like she's already figured out that when she really tries to go for one of her desires, she kind of,
doesn't want her heart broken.
Oh,
I can relate to that.
And I feel like a lot of people go through that. They're like, I'll just do my thing and follow consciousness, because when I try to do something else, it causes me this grief or suffering or angst. So, yeah, where would we go with something like that?
Okay, so close your eyes.
Okay.
And where in your body do you feel it?
Oh, you do it just like me. So if I were to do it for me, I would have it a little bit behind my heart, right shoulder.
And mine, for whatever reason, this kind of flared up for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from 0 to 10, 10 being the highest, what number would you both give it?
3.5.
3.5. And
Mine's like a 7.
7. Okay. So let's start this way and let's see, because I have other things I can do too. So what you want to do is focus on that area and repeat. Should I let it go?
Should I let it go?
Yes.
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 Could I let
Please.
it go?
Could I let it go?
Yes.
Yes.
When?
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 Now.
Now.
Should I let it go?
Should I let it go?
Yes.
Yes.
Could I let it go?
Could I let it go?
Yes.
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 When?
When?
Now.
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 Looks like yours got a little, did it get worse for you? Or move?
I don't know. Like, it got
it
like
still
funky.
there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine's like a 1.
Okay. So what I want you to do is both close your eyes.
Okay.
And if you were to give it a shape, what shape would it be? First thing that comes to mind.
Mine's square.
I'd go triangle.
Okay.
It's pokey.
And if it
Yeah.
were a color, what color would it be?
Mine's like a dark blue.
Like a smoke gray, black gray.
Is there a texture or sound with it?
It's like growly.
Okay. So I want you to imagine it's like a volume button, like on the radio, and I want you to
Okay.
turn it down. And then I want you to change the shape to a pink squishy teddy bear.
Okay.
You both have that?
Yeah.
Okay. And then let the teddy bear become translucent until it
cool.
goes away. And take a deep breath. And what are you at now?
Mine's at a 0.
Mine's 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is really strong on you. So
Yeah.
then we go into, why do you feel the need to be attached to it? Is it your belief system, or is it an inherited belief system?
It's inherited.
Okay.
Who does it belong to?
Yeah, it doesn't belong to you. Okay. So then we would go back to that ancestor. Do you have any idea who that is?
It's on my mother's side.
Okay. How many generations back?
7.
7. Yeah. So let's call her forward. You don't have to know who she is. Okay, she has a belief system, correct? Something happened to her. So we're going to do the healing for her. So you're going to act as a conduit for her.
Okay.
Oh,
change the limit.
Yeah. All right, 0 to 10. How strong is hers?
Hers is like a 6.
A 6. Is she willing to heal this? Does she want to?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to do the, should I let it go? Yes. Could I let it go?
Should I let it go?
Yes.
Yes. Could I let it go?
Yes.
Yes.
When?
When?
Now.
Now.
Should I let it go?
Should I let it go?
Yes.
Yes.
Could I let it go?
Could I let it go?
Yes.
Yes.
When?
When?
Now.
Now.
Take a deep breath. And how is she feeling right now?
Relief.
Okay. So now we're going to call on this beautiful white Christed light to enter her being. And it's now transforming her DNA, her cell structure, her blood, her bones, her skin, her entire being from the top of her head to the tip of her toes to the core of her soul. And now we're going to bring that beautiful healing, that white Christed light, through the generations down to you. So now when you think about this, what comes up for you?
I can't even remember what the thing was.
Perfect.
That's crazy.
go.
Like, I can't even remember what we said we were working on.
Yeah, it was about an
I can tell you.
audience. Yeah, it was about growing an audience.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I thought it was about.
Oh, yeah. Well, we started out with that and then you
Oh,
went into
okay.
something else. Yes.
Wow. Whoa. I feel like everything just changed a
And what
little
did you think
bit.
it was?
I thought it was the conflict of when you won't go for your desires.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, causing
Yeah.
us suffering
Suffering.
by not
Yes.
even looking at your desires and
Yes.
saying, I
Yes.
can't.
Hers
Yes.
was, and because we do past life regression,
Oops, I can't.
and because
Oh,
You can't hear
you
us?
can't hear us.
Bummer.
Hello?
can other people hear you? Because you just went.
Oh, can you,
Maybe
will you
it's me.
please type in the chat if you can't hear us, or can you? Somebody, one way or the
Now I
other?
can hear you.
I can hear both of
Okay,
you.
great.
Okay,
Okay, fabulous.
So
How funny.
sometimes the guides
Yeah.
I know.
That was
I
clearly
know.
kind of one
Yeah.
of those energetic things.
It's really strong here, so I think I got some people here that are screwing with the electronics.
I
And I asked them to
gotcha.
stabilize everything.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that they said thank you. And on my end, very much so. Because I do work in past life regression, the image that came up for me was it wasn't the suffering that she experienced was the suffering of the people that she protected. And I got, the ancestor of almost Native American kind of imagery. And so that was one of those things that was held in place because of, didn't want the others to suffer as well. So I thought that was really interesting too. So I don't know, but knew that but innately knew, and I could tell that she knew that there was a need to release this for us all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are sometimes they don't want to, and there's a whole bunch of convincing and working with them. And here's the thing that people want to understand. If you go back and tap into a particular dark demonic ancestor,
Mhm.
here's what happened with a client of mine. Because I kept saying, oh, I want you to feel the pain that you have inflicted on them so that you will, it got them more emboldened. What changed was, again, Jesus showed up and loved them, and they loved
Beautiful.
him. So my message to people is really about your greatest enemies, send them love.
I agree.
Love is the healer to
I
all of them. This
agree.
is not about vengeance. That doesn't matter who's on a different political spectrum from
Yeah,
you,
it's so
whatever it
funny you said
is.
that. Yes.
We
Hmm.
need to unite and we need to allow people to have other opinions and love one another.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I prayed for those I may have disagree with on that fundamental place, and I asked to see things differently too. But yeah, and I just send love really.
Yeah.
We have a couple hands raised, and I know that you said you can go a little bit over the hour.
Absolutely.
I do want to give them the opportunity to kind of ask a question. Joe, will you go ahead and unmute yourself? Joe's one of our inner circle members, and we show him lots of love.
I saw
He's
him
gone
here.
through a few things.
I'm actually not going to ask a question, but I am going to make a confirmation.
Maybe you should ask a question.
I feel like I knew that you weren't going to ask a question, and I
Like,
wanted
I'm
to.
better than that question.
Yeah, why don't you ask, Joe?
What I want to say is this. The reason I put the note in the chat, this is a dear subject of mine as of 2 days ago. I'm working with stage 4 colon cancer, okay? And in the beginning, I was crazy, and I found a dear partner that's been working with me. And we are working as partners now, and we look for ways to heal. And something came up, and part of Jenna's note too was we we're looking. Grace is our normal being. Let's live like it's normal instead of going back and forth. And she sent me a note yesterday that says, I grant myself my full state of grace today. This morning, I stepped up and said, I grant myself my full state of grace today. I ask my guides to grant me what I deserve, that is my birthright. Please make me aware of that this moment, this day, and every day.
Beautiful.
And I'm starting my second round of chemo tomorrow, and I'm actually looking forward to it.
That's cool.
So I have a friend
Enough
who,
said.
well, I have a friend who went through third stage breast cancer, and she's also a fellow hypnotist. And one of the things that she did was a lot of mindset stuff. So she imagined the chemotherapy going through her body, but she transformed it. Instead of it being poison, she gave it another meaning. Like you can imagine it light that's going and targeting the different areas and visualizing your body as it goes through your body. And she also did, she did a lot of work with the nurses and doctors saying, I only want you to give me positive information. Do not start going down the negative. She wouldn't let them give her any negative diagnosis. I want you to tell me positive things. And she would yell at the nurses and the doctors if they weren't. She's like, I want to be inspired. I want to be happy I'm here. I want to know that I am healing my body. And
Yeah.
she was amazing and she completely recovered. She's 80,
Yeah.
she's 81 now. This was last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm going to echo something about the chemo too. Even Jeneth was one that helped me with this.
Yeah, I was like, thank goodness you can do chemo and you're not just going to
all
die
the
of
rhetoric
this.
out there, all
Sorry, go ahead.
I think he's breaking up a little bit.
I'm not going to have bad effects because I'm recognizing that all those products come from Mother Earth. Why should they be so harmful to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
And I got into that Mother Earth thing. I have no problems with chemo.
Yeah.
Walking around the whole time I've been doing chemo, because it takes a little while. I'm not letting the negative stuff that's out there affect me.
Good.
I'm so glad.
Yes.
And we're happy.
Yes. And I hopefully this will help to inspire someone else that's listening in. And it was a little hard to hear, but if you really just have the energy of Joe's energy here and his belief, and like you mentioned here, Lisa, that you can transmute.
The thing with Grace, I had to step in and I had to.
I feel like that's happened. I bet, Lisa, you feel that that's your way of living now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we do. I think. Yeah. I feel like in the last couple of years, I've stepped over that bridge too.
Yeah.
But no, I'm expecting miracles.
Yes.
I'm expecting miracles in every area of my life. So, and
it's an amazing way to live. And we're taught the opposite.
Oh, yeah.
That we need to be in our head and pragmatic and everything. But when you drop into your heart and you
Right.
really start to daydream and think about what you really want, and then surrender. Because I never would have selected what I picked, what happened to me last year on my own, because I wouldn't have thought it was possible. But because I surrendered, I had the most magical 3 months of my life, then ended up in Europe for a month, going on all these amazing trips in September and October, and now I'm back in Mexico. I'm passionate about travel, and this and spirit is creating it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Absolutely. I wrote a theme for this week and called it unconscious unrest. Because when we are doing things that are causing us suffering, like denying our true desires because there's wrongness in there, it causes us unrest. And so I feel like that the universe just bows to, offering a theme for the week. And then our speakers just step up and say the theme for a week. And then this Thursday, we're going to talk more about the theme for this week. And I just think that that's just so freaking cool how the universe orchestrates even this podcast show.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, on happy-go-lucky juice, right? It's just like the best thing in the world.
Yes. Even we had a cancellation for our speaker who couldn't end up joining us, and somehow Jeanette and I ended up doing the show, and the channeled content that we put out that day was exactly what was needed to be said, what we needed to be received. I mean, it was amazing. And we thought, oh gosh, how fun, right? Like how fun we get to follow this energy. And what most would think is that, oh, I got a cancellation.
I got to hurry up and fill it.
No, I mean, it ended up being even better than we could have imagined, right? So that's just how this, following this energy, it's got its own, our business has its own entity as well. And
quite literally, it's not just an LLC entity, it's an energetic entity that tells us what to do all day.
It's
like, wake up.
Yep.
Make your blueberry shake with your barley grass so that you have enough energy to do what everything I need you to do. That's how Hustle talks to us.
Yeah, basically. And lets us know if we're not asking questions.
Out.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, great. So we have one other question, but I want to bring up your offer and let you talk a little bit about it, and then we'll go ahead and take her question.
Awesome.
Great. Here it is.
So I have a couple I think I sent you.
This is what we have for you on the screen.
It says, when life feels off, discover your why, the missing key to your purpose and profit. Power and profit. Awesome.
I love this title.
So this is about people discovering their why and their purpose. And what happened was, for me, when I was trying to market and put my website together, and I had a former business partner, we were struggling to get our messaging across because everyone was telling us, well, this is where the money is. So this is where you need to market towards. And I was banging my head against the wall because people were sending me to corporate engineers and bankers. And I'm like, I'm too woo-woo for them. And I don't want to have to change who I am to get their business. There are people in that area that will come to me who are open, but it wasn't working. And I was really struggling. And someone had me take a why assessment. And the why was so cool because it told me that I was challenged. So there's this guy, Gary Sanchez, and Gary was a dentist, and he was fascinated as to why people did what they did. And so he discovered there's 9 whys. So my why is challenge. I challenge conventional thinking and think outside the box. So I need to talk to people who think like I do, right? Because if I talk to people who are right way, who are very, inside the box, I'm going to scare the heck out of them. So you learn about all the different 9 whys. I put together, it's a 30-minute tutorial on what they are. And then there's a discount on the actual assessment and you get your why, your how, and your what, and I spend an hour with you talking about your why. We call it the operating system. Your why, your how, and your what. And so for me, it was a game changer for my business
Yeah. Well, it
and
seems
my
like it
life.
might be a game changer just for the awareness of people knowing
Right.
what you actually are.
Right.
So this is an audio, and then they get you as a session.
Yes.
Is that what we're looking at here?
Yeah. So they
Wow.
get the 30-minute audio that
Yeah.
explains them. Then they
do the assessment.
Yeah, and then they take the assessment. It's 10 minutes. I have to
Okay.
send them a link for that. And then I go over their why. Yeah,
Love
it's
it.
a really tremendous value, but I love doing them so much.
Yeah.
And also, it didn't make it here, but I had, there's a link to the group healing
Yes. Yes.
that anyone who's interested in, we have our next one next Thursday, 12 o'clock Eastern and 4 o'clock. If people are interested in that, they can, I guess, contact you if you want to send
Yes,
them.
we'll get the link up
Yeah.
right with your special offer. So we'll have it on the page as well, right underneath your beautiful picture,
Yes.
so that people can sign up to join the group session if they're interested in that as well.
Yeah.
And repeat those the next times that you have those available.
It's next Thursday.
Okay, great.
7:30. I think it's the 26th.
The
of
26th of February,
And
2026. Love
it's
it. Good numbers.
$44. It's $44.
Okay,
And it's
fabulous.
12 o'clock and 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Love it.
Eastern Standard Time. We do 2 times. You can go to one or you can go to both.
Oh, okay.
It's really up to
Okay.
you. And
Yeah.
animals get a healing. So if you have pets, bring your dogs, your cats. We've had really miraculous stories about animals healing.
Wow, that's great.
So we will get that for you. And for those who are listening on YouTube channel, we will have that in the description as well. So with her special offer, so that way you can join that too. Lisa, we have one more person that has their hand raised, and we'd love to. Renee, go ahead and unmute, please.
And you guys, if you're looking for the link, it's houtehustle.com/Lisa S. houtehustle.com/Lisa S. That'll be in the YouTube caption. It'll be in the show notes on our podcast, and it'll also be in the newsletter and on the live page at houtehustle.com/live. All right, Renee, you're up.
I'm going to be everywhere.
That's right.
Hi, thank you.
Hi, Renee.
Hi. My question, I have issues of lack of money because of family, religion, circumstances. So it's multi-layer. How do you, and I know it's multi-layer, it's been a loop all my life, and where do you begin?
Your higher self knows the answer, right? We've got 2 hypnotists here who understand.
3.
I literally, or 3, yes, 3. Yeah, because I was looking at you, I forgot I'm one too. So what I do is I ask your higher self to take me to the root cause. And we go to your earliest memory. Now, it could be past life, it could be ancestral, or it could be this lifetime. And it's up to your guides and your higher self as to the order. It really doesn't matter. It's just as long as we clear it. So it would be step by step going through. And also because it becomes a belief system in you, because you are programmed in it, we want to release and heal the ancestors or the past life. But we want to go in and make sure we've gotten all the belief systems. And we can oftentimes wrap it up into one, right? It doesn't have to go into every single one. But it's your higher self has the answers. As a hypnotist, all we're doing is helping you discover your own answers. Is that helpful to you?
So I come to you and we ask a general question and the higher self answers, is what you're saying. Is that right?
You answer yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But look, Renee, I mean, your beliefs are like right there in front of you. If you're thinking like, I can't get out of this, that is your point of view and you can't get out of it. Like it's not, these aren't really, really hidden. Like we don't have to do much hunting for it. So you can even start processing some of this on your own whenever you notice that feeling of lack or I'm not good enough. I mean, those are the places where you can simply just go in your body and go, where are you? I'm curious. What is this? And I tell you to do that even before you see a hypnotherapist, because that practice and that work of knowing yourself and knowing your subconscious will amplify times a godzillion when you actually work with a great therapist as well. So that would be some of the practice you could do. Start journaling and realize, is this true for everyone? You could even do, I believe this. Well, is that true for Leonka? And go, well, wait, how come Leonka is free of it and I'm not, right? Really look at it. And it's like, is it true broadband across the world? And if it's not, then why are you so special to get stuck with that limiting belief that's limiting your effing life? Just saying. So
okay, well, that's what I was wondering. Yeah.
For it.
No, well, that's excellent. Yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering, because it's overwhelming, and if you can just start piecing bits out, that makes sense. Yeah.
And should I let it go? Yes. Could I let it go? Write it down.
Yeah.
Yes. Start to see patterns that start to happen. Then And
I see the patterns. I just trying to unwind them.
Write it down. Write it down. Use your journal. Write it down.
Perfect.
That excavated so much for me. Like I did one night of just journaling through my belief systems and really blowing them up. And then the next day I was a completely different person. Like I was like, what?
Yeah.
I journal. So yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So yes.
Yeah.
I was also going to say, and this just goes for everybody on the line, when you're doing this exercise and when you're, excavating beliefs or just kind of looking at them, give yourself grace, like Joe said, because you'll be surprised how many people will have this. I mean, you're not in this alone, right? Like Renee, have possibly the same verbatim things that you would have said too. And I probably had it not too long ago, or I had it, they creep back in sometimes, or I'll pick it up from someone else or my mom or whatever, right? Like, so don't be like, the biggest thing is don't beat yourself up. Let yourself be, observer if you need to, and just be like, this is interesting, because I promise you, you're not the only one experiencing this, but you don't have to keep it, right? And that's where you're not that social, right? Like, because none of us, it's our birthright not to have to keep it.
When's the last time you saw a movie that depicted someone with money in a good light? Okay, so this message bombards us from everywhere.
Yeah, Disney, everywhere.
Right?
Yeah,
so all people with money in movies are evil, and the people who don't have money are good. So that's a huge part of what has been brainwashed. We've been brainwashed with, as well as family.
I think that's oversimplified with us looking into money, because you really have to change your identity around it from the core, like, I'm great enough to have it.
But sometimes it can be a little bit of a stretch for some people to make that stretch. So you can even ask angels, universe, God, help me to see this in a different way.
Yeah.
I'm willing to see this in a different way.
It's not like you need millions. You just need enough to live your life.
I don't know. I'd take millions. What's up? I ain't living myself. I'm not limiting myself.
Different than us. We're weird like that.
She deserves millions too.
Well, maybe she doesn't have a desire for millions, is what I'm saying. You've got to meet yourself.
That's true. That's true. I'm just joking though. And the truth is that it is our birthright to follow our desires, and that is our GPS.
Mm-hmm. I'm loving some of your comments on the chat. Thank you. So,
yes, thank you. And thank you for staying a little bit extra, Lisa, today. The comments have been really excited.
Mm-hmm.
Dana says, Amazing, amazing. Wow. Somebody was talking about the experience that you had with Jesus, like just in awe.
We should have another conversation about that. I feel like there's more there.
Oh gosh, yes. Let's see. Caesar said, amazing. She is, I can't even stop just grinning from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a cool conversation. Thank you.
Renee says, thank you all.
Thank you, Renee.
You so much. And I so appreciate being part of this. And for anyone who wants to see Zero Limits, the movie, it's available on Apple TV, and it's the zerolimitsmovie.com, zerolimitsmovie.com, and on is it Amazon?
Yes.
Amazon, it's available as well.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much. You guys stick around. We've got just a couple announcements for some things coming up. So, Lisa, I'm going to bid you adieu.
Thank you so much. It was an honor and
Thank
a
you.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh my goodness.
What's up, Howdies?
How many of you guys get this energy and this idea of this conscious unrest or this unconscious unrest? It really just came through me this weekend when I had a moment where I was going back to some of those familiar belief systems that I had last year. And it came up so dynamically. And it was almost when it came up, it was like I was like over myself going, why would I really choose this? And on Thursday, Leonka and I are going to take this conversation so much deeper. She's going to help you connect with the Akashic records so that this becomes your morning woo routine, where you'll get up in the morning and connect with your Akash and allow yourself to be guided like I was over this weekend.
Yes.
Because all I wanted to say is if I wasn't that connected, I wouldn't have had that awareness, and I probably would have had the glass of wine that I was naturally and my familiar feeling was going for.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, right? So we have our higher self that's connected to source, and we can go to that wisdom. You are your own best guru. So there's a very easy way to open your records and then to receive guidance. And I would even say do it daily. My guides are probably saying, did you do it daily? But I do try. And I tell you, and I just free write, or I'll open my voice recorder, and the amount of immense wisdom that comes forward about the stuff that I have been struggling with or questioning. I mean, just very basic things like, should we buy a, new vehicle versus, lease the vehicle? I mean, those things, like I start to get just really good inklings about like, very just pragmatic things that you can do in your life, whether it's what I choose to eat or the notion of
exercising in the morning.
Exactly. I was just going to say that. And today is the beginning of the new Chinese New Year. So this is a great way to come and join us this Thursday for setting a really fun woo routine. And that includes connecting with your higher self.
Absolutely. We also, every month, we have an inner circle. It's called the Mystique Society. And in this group, we have these beautiful individuals that we just watch constantly change.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a place to be, a place where you can call, hey, these woo hotties are my hotties too.
We're new earth hustlers.
Yeah. It might be something for you to really give it a go. And you can try it just for 1 month for $37. And that is at houtehustle.com/join, houtehustle.com/join. If you have questions about it, you can email us at team@houtehustle.com. Technically, if you have questions about anything, you can email us to team@houtehustle.com. But with the membership, you also get discounts for our special offers. You get priority access when we have raise your hand calls and ask questions, which Thursday's call will be too.
Yes, we'll do live facilitation on that call.
So if you're called, then the calling is for you. Again, it's houtehustle.com/join.
And there's tons of other bonuses. There's access to the different summits that we do. We add speakers in there all the time. And we have a really fun new system and way to roll this out. I mean, we're bringing in new content and lessons that we're working with. And the very cool thing is that, like, if you have a desire to do some channeling, or you have a desire to really work with your psychic abilities, this is the place where you can come and bring your questions. Of course, you can always do that on the show too. This is a community of no judgment. And this is where everyone is on their own journey, and we recognize that. And all of our psychic abilities, our clairs, are activated by being in the presence of other clairs. And so it's so fascinating to see how much we have elevated through the works of each other. And we bring in, you have one day where somebody will talking about dowsing, and another day where someone's talking about the imagery that they're getting and how that those are activating, symbology. And so it's just a very, very, very open, beautiful way to connect with your peeps. So if you feel called, check out the page. Just check it out. It's at houtehustle.com/join. We always want to remind you that How Hustle believes in giving back. Right now, we are supporting rising-up.org, and we do this through a nonprofit, giving back a percentage of proceeds to benefit rising-up.org. And they take in laptops and computers to give to other people in need. So they refurbish those, and then they give them out for wellness and education. And we also want to let you know, circle your calendars. In April, we have a new summit coming up. We've also got some really fun things up our sleeve, all about some new material, some new things that we're teaching on, and we're just super excited. And so if you are feeling called to join us, please do. We're live every Tuesday and Thursday, and you can also always get everything on the replay, and that is always at houtehustle.com/live. And I do recommend joining our newsletter. It's at houtehustle.com. And you get all of the information about what we've got coming up soon.
Yep. Just a reminder, if you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. And with that being said, I think we are out for today.
Yes, we're Haute Hustle, reminding you to take a little time to enjoy the.
Bye,
Have a good one,
everyone.
guys.